And Mashyaka, welcome. It seems that you just joined. Would you like to say hello?
Yes, thank you.
Great. Could you tell everyone where you're calling in from?
Yeah, I'm Machaka Emmanuel from Rwanda, the head of Rwanda Village Community Promoters.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. So, yeah,
Very good.
we've already heard from folks calling in from Malawi, Honduras, and Berlin, and I'm here in Seattle, and so you're joining us from Rwanda. That's wonderful. Helps
Yeah.
round out our participation here. There are a few others on the call who haven't yet been able to say hello, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to turn on a screen share, and you should all now be able to see my screen, which shows you the Grant Station website. So we didn't want to publicly advertise that this webinar is about grantstation.com. We were really just referring to it more broadly as about grant resources available through Omprakash. But really, it's mostly about this one website, which is a grant research database that Omprakash subscribes to. And we are very excited to share this subscription with any of our partners and, of course, as well with our Edge mentors and consultants. So if you are on this call and you would like you like the demo that you're about to see and you would like to gain access, all you need to do is send me an email, willie@omprakash.org. You should have just received an email from me with all of the call info, so you can just reply to that and just request the password and I will send it to you. I'm not going to give it out on this call. But I will very gladly give the access code to anyone who asks. So you can even do that right now while we're talking if you want. But after you log in, it will look like this. And basically, as an overview of this call, I first want to show you how to use the Grant Maker database, because that's really the biggest resource here. And in addition to that, I will show you how to track different grant opportunities via GrantStation, and ultimately how to also find other resources via GrantStation. So you can think of it as having three main parts. So part one is finding grant makers. So after you log in, you're going to go here, find grant makers, and there's some overview info you can check out if you want. But really what you're probably going to want to do is go here to International Charitable. And this is how you search this database of organizations that make grants to charitable organizations all around the world, such as Omprakash Partners. So you can see they have over 2,000 grant opportunities. And when you get started, it's still just loading here. But yeah, so now you can see over here, there's a lot of different filters that you can use. So if you want, you can filter based on geographic scope. I find that to be a little less useful because you don't want to accidentally exclude anything. So what I would suggest is searching by areas of interest. Although definitely I encourage you to experiment with all of this. So let's just suppose that you do work for an education organization. You might start by just doing a search for education general. And you can see that turns up 912 results, which is exciting. Now that might be too much. You might want to narrow it down a little more. So you might say that it's education, but more specifically, it's not just education general, but let's just say it's early childhood and childcare. So that narrows it down to 72 results. And you can easily see here the geographic scope. And so, unfortunately, I don't believe that there's a way to narrow this like by country, but you could at least, for what it's worth, you can check a box who say grant makers who focus on developing countries, and that narrows it to 4. But see, I think that's not particularly helpful, because if I remove that, you'll see that, for example, Asha for education focuses on India, or many, like Aga Khan Foundation focuses on all these countries. And if you say grant makers who focus on developing countries, it actually hides those and only shows people who identify as developing countries. So that's why I said that I don't think that's very useful. So I would not limit by geographic scope. In any case, as we start going through here, let's just say I'm interested in Aga Khan Foundation. If I click this, it's going to open in a new tab here. And we'll just open Asha for education as well. Now, when I'm looking at a given grant maker on GrantStation, the information that I get might vary a lot. In this case, it's really just a few paragraphs, and then it's going to redirect me to their website. So a lot of the work is in your hands. You need to really do the legwork to look at their website and research them and figure out what's required. But GrantStation is at least going to help you find out that they exist and give a little bit of basic info about the application deadlines and who's eligible. So likewise, for Asha for education, similar thing, even less information here, but a little bit. And then the key point is that here you can visit the website of Asha, and that's going to have the additional info. Likewise here for Aga Khan Foundation. And it's also linked here in this case. Now, so here I am on the Asha website, and I can start to read more and take it away. But what I would suggest, or at least one option, is use GrantStation to actually keep track of these different things. So now we're moving to part 2 of this webinar, which is how to kind of not just find grants via GrantStation, but how to keep track of them. So it's relatively easy. When I'm looking at a given grant maker here, I just click Save. And it says it has been saved in your dashboard. And you'll see what that means shortly. So I can also, as I'm looking through my original list of 72 results, maybe I only want, I'm only interested in grant makers who work in, let's just say, in India. So I've already saved Asha for education. I can save the Aga Khan Foundation. And let's just say, scrolling through and I find another one. You get the idea. I could save them as well. Okay, so what does this mean that we're saving all these organizations? Well, and by the way, I would just say use your discretion. Don't just go through and save everything. You should actually research them a little bit and figure out if they are a good fit for your organization. But once you've saved it, it says the grant maker has been saved in your dashboard. So if I go up top, I can go to my dashboard. So this is part 2 of the webinar, not focused on how to search, but rather how to save and view. So look, within your dashboard, you have a number of sections, and one of them is saved grant makers. And here I can see all of the grant makers that have been saved. I can see some basic info about the application deadlines and so on. Now, the issue is if many different Omprakash partners are using GrantStation, which we invite them to, how will you know which are actually saved for you? So here's how I'm going to show you how to do that now. Besides saved grant makers, you can see projects. And what I invite you to do, this is not a requirement, but if you want to use GrantStation not only to research grants, but also to keep track of grants relevant to your project, then you can go in here and add a new project. So right now I've just added 2 projects as an example, partner Y and partner X. Okay, it's quite easy to add, you just click there. Now, After you've added a project, what you're able to do is make a plan for that project. So what the plan basically is it allows you to associate a grant maker with a project and specific deadlines. So I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to go back to the saved grant makers. And in our example, we were using the Aga Khan Foundation. So if I look over here now to my plan, I can add it. And now, when I go to my plan, I'm going to see the Aga Khan Foundation there. And right now, it's not associated with any project, but if I click Edit, now I can pick. So let's just suppose I represent partner X. There, I write it there. I can decide what is the priority, and I can set goals for myself. This does not it's not that this does not automatically submit anything for you, of course, but it's a way to set goals. So I might say, okay, I want to submit this by the end of the year, okay? And I expect to hear from them by January 15th, let's just suppose. And I might write a note here like, seems like a great opportunity. Save. And so now within my plan, suppose I represent partner X, I can easily see what are the different opportunities that have been associated with partner X, and what are my goals for when I'm going to submit them, and what are my notes, and so on. So again, this is not required. It's up to you. If you want to simply, search on GrantStation for ASHA, for example, and then just go to their website and kind of manage everything from there, you are free to do so. But we think it would be helpful if partners keep track of the grants that they're tracking within GrantStation. Another thing that you could do here is, I made an example here for Oak Foundation. I added a note that said it seems like it could be a good opportunity for any partners who like, who XYZ. But so it would be wonderful if partners wanted to collaborate within this platform to highlight opportunities that might be good for other partners. But again, that's certainly not required. It's just an option. So this is a somewhat rudimentary platform, let's be honest. I would like to think that the Omprakash dashboard is a lot more robust and allows you to do more. But at least to review, the GrantStation dashboard will allow you to create a project, to see all the saved grant makers that you may have saved or other partners have saved, and then to make a plan by associating grant makers with your project and specific deadlines and so on. So that is part 2 of this webinar. Part 1 was about finding grant makers. Part 2 was about keeping track of opportunities within GrantStation. Now, part 3, very briefly, I just want to highlight all of the other resources that are available via GrantStation. So let's suppose you want to actually get some support with writing a letter of inquiry. GrantStation has some excellent resources to help you do that. In this case, it's written by the CEO of the company. But so you can read through all of this, and you can jump to a specific section if you want. You can see samples of award-winning proposals. You can go through bit by bit. And that's just for LOIs. Likewise, you can see the same kind of thing for all of these different sections. There's also additional public resources, such as webinars from GrantStation rather than from Omprakash, webinars that have already been recorded, etc. So you can even see their newsletter, for example, and see the International Insider and see if there's any tips in their recent newsletter. So I'm very happy to answer any questions or give further info, but that's just a basic overview of this one resource that we are excited to share with our partners. Once again, just to review everything quickly, send me an email and I will provide the password to you. Once you have the password, we do ask that you do not share it with anyone else outside of your organization. But within your organization, you can log in. You can find grant makers by using their search database. You can then save those grant makers to your dashboard. And then within your dashboard, you can associate grant makers with different projects and build a broader plan. So that is all I've got for the moment. I would really love to answer any questions. And if for any reason you are unable to stay longer, or if you would like to ask a question but are unable or unwilling to do so via Zoom, please just feel free to send me an email. But yeah, let's move into more of a discussion mode. I'd love to hear from you all. Any questions out there? And for those who joined us late, feel free to just say hello and introduce yourself.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. This is Richard Anku, HCDP Ghana.
Hi, Richard. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you too for the opportunity. Yeah, I have one question because I joined a little bit late.
Sure.
So yeah, does it mean that when I log on to the website directly, I will not be able to access this page just until I send you an email?
Yeah, you need, so GrantStation is like, it's a subscription-based service, and Omprakash has purchased a subscription, and we are now very happy to share that subscription with our partners. But in order to gain access, you need to know the password. So just send me a quick email and I will provide that password to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, of course. Paul, would you like to introduce yourself and say hello? Oh, it seems it's maybe not working. Or Esther?
Hello.
Oh, hi, Paul.
This is Hezbon.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Hezbon, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Please tell everyone where you're calling in from and which organization you represent.
Yeah, I'm calling from Kenya. I work with the Creative Media Concept.
Wonderful.
I'm the action director. I just came in when you were concluding your presentation. I think I had some challenges on, logging in. But I caught up with a little bit of, when you are discussing about how to navigate, but I did not get full details.
Okay, well, the good news is I've been recording this call, and so I'll send along that recording very shortly, and you're free to watch that. And then if you have further questions, you can certainly follow up with me. Or you can even join the next webinar, which is happening in a little more than 12 hours. But yeah, just feel free to follow up with me after. But very broadly to review, once again, anyone who wants access needs to just send me an email and I will provide the password. Once you're logged in, you can search the database. I think we saw over 1,200 different international grant makers. And when you find a grant maker, you can save it to your dashboard and then associate it with a particular project. And you can just create a project for your organization. And that way different partners can differentiate between the grants they're highlighting.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just want to, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that will be the best way. to send an email, and then now we can be able to get those details. That will be good.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi, Paul.
Hello. Yes. Hi. Yeah. It's a pleasure to be on the platform. I joined a bit late also, just like Hezbollah. But I think everything is, you said everything. So maybe I'll see I can join the coming meeting, the coming webinar. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, I'm thrilled that we have such a good attendance here. Again, I think we have folks from Honduras, Malawi, Rwanda, Uganda, Kenya, Ghana, and Berlin, Germany, and a few calling in from the United States. So it's really wonderful to have everyone here. Any other questions out there?
You had said.
Yeah, just a comment. I think it's a very good initiative because, for us at Bondeco, we've been struggling to get funding sometimes. So I think such a platform would be very helpful for all the Omprakash members. So I think it's very, very good initiative. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thanks for saying that. And yeah, to be clear, I mean, I think the hard work is not just finding them, but actually writing the proposals. And so I don't,
Exactly.
I think that there's still a big challenge ahead. Some of you have received a partner development grant from Omprakash, and so you have the support of people like Angela and Terrell and Johanna, who are on this call, who work for Omprakash as edge mentors and partner consultants. So you should absolutely use their support to help you make the most of the opportunity. For those of you who have not received a partner development grant, we can't offer specific resources to help you write the grant applications, but we still are very happy to share this database, and we encourage you to apply for a partner development grant in the future if you would like to. Esther, I believe you were maybe trying to say something.
Yeah, I was just saying hello. I just came into the discussion, so I was trying to, to catch up with the conversation.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to repeat the whole introduction to this platform, but I will share the video that we've made of this recording. And Esther, if you or if anyone else has further specific questions, you can just follow up with me directly after watching the video. And I think that would be quite helpful. Any other questions out there?
Hello.
Yes, hello, Richard.
Yeah, so I want to say that I think I subscribe to one organization that is, I don't know, it's a link that I subscribed to, that is Funds for NGO. And I don't know if you've heard about that. And I keep sending proposals upon proposals to, through that link. Because I get notifications all the time about, grants opportunities that are actually available. And I keep, writing and writing. And sometimes I've never had a response from them, whether you've won a grant or maybe, this has to be scrutinized somehow, or maybe, there should be some kind of notification that, oh, what you have submitted to us, has gotten this far. So I just stopped, sending proposals through those links. So I just hope that this platform will provide the best opportunities for us to actually, submit our grants, submit our proposals for grant opportunities. It's the one that I actually subscribe for is Funds for NGO. And I keep getting notifications all the time. I can just get up and then there's a notification that, oh, they are actually, there's an opportunity like this. But sometimes, like the way you actually narrowed down this whole opportunity, that is how the opportunity also comes, that this grant is actually for agriculture project, educational project, or maybe blah 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 and blah blah blah. So you just have to read through and then see what opportunities out there, and then you can actually send in your proposal. But I've never heard from them whether how far the proposal has gotten to, So
Yeah.
that is it about the funds for NGOs.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Richard. I think it's an important thing to remember. I mean, I want to encourage you all and I want to be optimistic, but I also think, your time is valuable, and, you don't want to find that you are wasting tons of time sending inquiries to organizations and then never hearing back. So I don't have, a solution there other than just to say, I do think it's worth using your discretion, and rather than send a proposal to every single organization that meets your search criteria, to actually spend some time researching the organization. Perhaps, if possible, look to see examples of other organizations they've funded, and if those organizations are similar to your own, great. But for example, if they typically fund organizations that have 100 or more employees and your organization has 2 employees, it's probably not a fit, and it's probably not worth your time to apply. Something else I might suggest is very simply just to rather than send a full proposal, to send a very short email saying, dear grant maker, I'm just curious if you are is it correct that you're currently accepting applications? And something very simple like that, and just to see if you get a response. If you don't even get a response, then it's probably not worth it to go further. But certainly, yeah, we are always happy. Even if you are not a partner development grant recipient, you should certainly feel free to contact an Omprakash team member to ask for advice anytime. We probably cannot fully help you develop a proposal and apply, but we certainly are happy to just share our point of view on any question. Now, Mashyaka, you raised your hand here a while ago, so I certainly want to give you a chance to speak as well.
Yeah, thank you so much. I am very happy for this webinar, which is really nice. But you have been saying that we can send you our email to get the password, but I'm trying to. But here I'm not getting the way I can send to you. Maybe probably I don't know if you can see in the invite email you did, and then you send the password as we can do, because we really want to come on the platform and being familiar.
Sure.
With using it, yeah.
Yeah, I meant that you could just send it by email, but it's fine. I will also send it by group chat. Just give 1 second. Thank you for asking that.
Yeah.
So here it comes. Can everyone, if you look in the bottom of the Zoom chat or the Zoom window, you will see that I've just sent it there now. So hopefully everyone can see that. And if not, again, just send me an email. You should have received an email from me just moments before the call started. So feel free to just reply to that email, or you just send me an email, willy@omprakash.org, WILLY. But Mashyaka, do you see the chat in the bottom of the Zoom window where I have just sent the info?
Yes, I find it, yes.
Okay, great.
That's the password we can use?
Correct. So you go to that link and you use the username Omprakash, and that is the password.
Skycom, is it the password?
Yeah, Skycomish with a exclamation point and a bunch of numbers.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, another thing to ask is the people you said who are an Omprakash team, they want to help us to review, or just to call any time when you could even meet with any constraint in your applications?
Yeah, so if you are a partner development grant recipient, which we have some of those on the call, then you have a consultant who will work with you and can really support you through the whole process. If you're not a partner development grant recipient, we don't have the resources to offer unlimited support, but certainly if you have a simple question, you can send an email to me or to Steve or to Alex or to Emily, and we would be very happy to help you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I ask that because there are some people like me who are not familiar in grant writing. Hopefully that you are going to help me to develop my skills.
Right.
That it could be easier for me to use this platform.
Sure. And one other idea, I say this with some hesitation because I think it needs to be approached very carefully. But it is possible to use Omprakash to recruit volunteers or interns who might help you with this. So rather than seek support from an Omprakash administrator, we're happy to support, but we have limited time. But you could always create a position on your Omprakash profile where you say, we are recruiting a volunteer to help us write grants, and these are the expectations, and this is the timeline. And you could probably create that position in 15 minutes, and the worst thing that happens is nobody applies, but it could be worthwhile to do that.
Wow, that's really nice. Hopefully that I can get better soon as you help me. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yes, I have a question.
Please.
Yes, I would like to know, is there any kind of fees to be paid or?
No, so that's this is another benefit of being an Omprakash partner. Omprakash has paid the fee already for this subscription. And so we are now offering the subscription to all partners to access.
Wow, wow. That's
wonderful. Now, it is possible, Paul, that some specific grants will require a fee along with the application. I'm not aware of that, but that's possible. But there is no fee for using the platform.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, yeah, let me ask one more question.
Sure.
So if it happens that you actually win a grant from any of these opportunities or maybe any of the organization, is it compulsory to maybe receive your grant through Omprakash? Is it compulsory, or maybe you can actually receive through other means? Since maybe Omprakash actually pitches, this opportunity for us to use as partners.
That's a great question, Richard. Thank you for that, and I'm sorry for not mentioning before. You are not required to receive the grant through Omprakash. Many of these organizations that you apply to, they might prefer or even require that they only give grants to a registered 501c3 nonprofit, which means a nonprofit that's registered in the United States. And as you may know, hopefully you are aware, all Omprakash partners receive a fiscal sponsorship from Omprakash, which allows them to essentially use our 501c3 status. So in other words, you can, if a grant maker requires you to have a fiscal sponsor, then of course Omprakash can be your fiscal sponsor and can receive those funds on your behalf. On the other hand, if the grant maker does not require that and you just want to apply directly, you are most welcome to do so. As a courtesy, we would ask that you still let us know, because we would be very excited to hear if you receive those funds. But the funds do not need to go through Omprakash. That is your choice.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elijah.
Sorry, Esther, I just muted you because there was some background noise, but feel free to unmute. Any other questions?
Yeah.
Hesbon here.
Hi.
Yeah, I just wanted to know, yeah, about what do they have the themes for the grants that we need to apply for, or it is an open theme in terms of an initiative? Would we apply for initiatives that we are already working on, the initiatives that we have initiated ourselves, or do they propose the initiatives that we need to, apply for?
That's a great question, and the answer is that it's really, really going to vary based on the grant. And so, as a reminder, it's really kind of your responsibility or your opportunity to research the grants through GrantStation. So I'll just go back to the screen share for one moment here. So hopefully you can see my screen. So for example, in this case, the Aga Khan Foundation, you can read some basic info, and it describes the specific areas where they work. And it says grants are sometimes made to grassroots organizations interested in testing innovative approaches. And then it says more guidelines are available on the foundation's website. So really, to get the details, my point is you need to do some research. And there might be some grant makers you find who specifically say, we only fund this kind of project, and the project must already be running for 5 years. And there might be others who say, we want to fund new projects. And so you need to figure out kind of what's the right fit for what you're applying to. So, for example, the Aga Khan Foundation, I'm now on their website, which I followed from GrantStation. And it says, before developing a full proposal, you should make an inquiry to the specific office in the country where the project would be executed. And you can now see here, information about the different countries where they operate. So for example, if you were in Uganda, you would want to send an inquiry there. So, that is frankly like not a lot of information, and it's hard to know like if that could be a good fit. On the other hand, here's Asha for education. So again, we found Asha on GrantStation, and then we clicked here to go to their website. And in this case, it seems a little bit more open. You can read here about submitted proposals. You can read about their selection methodology. You can contact their projects team. And it looks like you just click here to begin. So it's really going to vary based on the organization. We are happy to provide you with this platform as a starting point. But again, a lot of the work will fall on your shoulders to actually use the platform and do the research. And we're happy to support as much as we can.
Thank you.
Okay, any further questions? Mashaka, very polite raising your hand.
Sorry, I may be asking too much.
No, please.
But now you had told us that in the first place you had told us that we write to you and then you provide a password, yes. And then you send us this password that is on the timeline.
Yes.
So we don't. Is this the only password, or we?
That's it. Yep. Yeah. Sorry for the confusion, but if that works for you, like if you see it there, great. No need to email me. If you, for any reason, have a hard time accessing that, feel free to email me, and I'll provide it by email.
Okay. Fine.
Wonderful. Well, thank you all very much. And as soon as we end this call, I will work on uploading this video and share the video with all of you. And I really want to thank you for your time. And I really look forward to to hearing how this goes. And I'm so happy that Omprakash is able to provide this resource, and I hope it is useful to you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Willie, just on behalf of Creative Media Concept, we want to say that we have gotten a lot of support from Omprakash since we joined. We have learned a lot, and I'm sure we disturb you with a lot of emails sometimes.
No, stop.
Yeah. So, but what we are saying is it has been quite a learning journey for us, and we really appreciate that. And please don't tire with us. We want to make sure that we get to the mature level that we need to get to. So just to the rest of the team, Alex, Emily, yourself, we just want to say thank you very much for the support that you have always granted us.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. And please know it is our great privilege and joy to be able to do this work. And truly our pleasure. And, you know, the good news is I will not tire of this work, but even if I do, it's not actually about me because we have so many other great members of our team who are leading Omprakash as well, including Alex and Steve and Emily, as you said, as well as all of our Edge mentors, such as Johanna, who is still on the call. So yes, there's many of us and we are all happy to help. So no need to even say thank you, but I do appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. Paul, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. I wish you all
Thank
the
you.
best. Have a wonderful day, and please just be in contact anytime, okay?
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank
Thanks,
you.
Lenny. Bye.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Bye.
Take care.